So hi, hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and today I will show you how to create a geological map using ArcGIS, a step-by-step tutorial to create a geological map. So now let's get started. So first step, let us download our geological data from World Geological Map USGS. Let me open a browser. So now let us search by World Geological Map USGS. So now I have entered World Geological Map USGS. Now let me search. So now click the first result, World Geologic Map. So here you can clearly able to view that we have a number of different data that is available for World Geological Maps. So it is available Afghanistan, Africa, Arabian Peninsula, and Arctic. And we also have a shapefiles available, so you can download your shapefile according to your requirement. So Asia specific and Bangladesh and Europe, Soviet Union and Mexico, Iran, South America and South Asia. So we can also download this specific geology of the South Asia. So and also the publication is also available for this data set. So there is also a variety of other locations, that is we have South America, North America, Iran. So let me download for South Asia. So let me click this option called shapefile. To download our shapefile of this geology of South Asia, click this shapefile. Click this shapefile to download our geology of South Asia. So now you can clearly able to view in this here, it's getting downloaded. So this is our downloaded shapefile of South Asia, geology of South Asia. So right click and click this option called extract here. So the shapefile has been extracted here. So now let us view this shapefile of geology of South Asia. Let me open my ArcGIS. So let me add this layer into our ArcGIS. Go to the add section, add data. So let me click this, go to the shapefiles and geology of South Asia. So now let me click this two shapefiles. Click add. So in this data we have two different layers. One layer is of polygon and another layer is of line. So now let me open this, let me keep this polygon layer and let me remove this one. So now I have removed the line layer, so we have our polygon layer. So now let us go see what are the things it contains. So right click this layer, go to the option called open attribute tables. So here we have a different thing. So here we have area, perimeter and geo 8 AG, and we have some IDs and also the geology. So geology is being represented as the different symbols. So PG, N, PG. So different this symbols represent the different geological, that is rocks. So now let us get back to our World Geologic Map USGS. So here we can you can clearly able to view here entire publication. So click this option, entire publication. So here we have our publication, indicating the showing map showing a geology, oil, gas field and geologic province of South Asia. So now let us view this publication. So you can click this link to download this publication. So now I have downloaded our publication. So let us view this. So now let us view the details of our geology, that is our symbol of this, what this each symbol represents. So let us view that. So let me get down here. So here the different rock formation, that is different geological formation, has been represented a different color. So each of the specific color represents a different geological formation. So let us view this in this part of the section. Let me zoom this. So now let me get back to ArcGIS. So in ArcGIS, let us view this particular symbol PZ. So PZ here represents, let us view what does the PZ define. So here the PZ defines undivided Paleozoic rocks. And similarly, let us view other symbols too. So Q. So let us view what does the Q word means. So here the Q defines the quaternary sediments. So that is Q defines quaternary sediments, and similarly QS defines the quaternary sand and dunes, and N defines neogeny sedimentary rocks, and PG defines paleogeny sedimentary rocks, and TS defines tertiary sedimentary rocks. Now let me get back to ArcGIS. So each of this symbol different represents a different geological formation. So now let me close this attribute table. So now let us view the details of this shapefile. Let me right click, go to the property section. So now go to the source. So you can see here the geographic coordinate system is of GCS WGS 1984. So it is using the geographic coordinate system of WGS GCS geographic coordinate system of WGS 1984. So now let me close this. So now next I could like to use some administrative boundary in order to prepare a proper geological map. So for that, let me show you where you can able to download the administrative boundary polygon. Now let me show you. So this is my browser. So this is a website where you can able to download the world country boundary polygon. So the website is called as Open Data Soft, and the link will be given in the description to access this website, and also the shapefile for the world country boundary polygon will be given in the description, where you can download your world country boundary polygon. So now let me show you here. So go to the option here called filters. Now let me enter as the country name India. So now I have entered the country name as India. So let me search. So here we have a variety of results has been. So let me choose. We're gonna use the shapefile file format. So I'm gonna download the whole data set. So we have only 2 selected records. So let me download the shapefile. So now you can see the shapefile has been downloaded in this section. Now let me open this. So now you can clearly able to view. I have pasted my administrative boundary here. So this is our zip file format. All you have to do is I already unzipped my shapefile. So all you have to do is right click your zip file and click this option called extract here. So after extracting, you can able to view here the world boundaries as a shapefile here. It is indicated. So now let me add this shapefile into ArcGIS. Now let me get back to ArcGIS. So this is our ArcGIS. So now let me add that country's boundary polygon, that is our administrative boundary polygon, into ArcGIS. So for that, go to the option called add data. So now let me click add data. So now let me select my world administrative boundary polygon. Now let me click this option called add. So now it has been added into our ArcGIS. Now let me show you. So let me change this color of this world country boundary polygon, that is our administrative boundary polygon. Let me choose an yellow color. Yeah, so you can clearly able to view here. So we have our 2 different layers. Let me remove this. So we have 2 different layers. One layer represents our world's country boundary polygon, and second layer represents our geology layer, specifically for the country, the country called India. So that is our geology of South Asia. So this is a geology of South Asia. So now let me show you this. So this is our country boundary polygon. So now let me extract this particular country that is our India. So let me choose the option called select features. Now let me select this country India. So let me remove this, clear this. Let me turn this off. Now let me select this. So selected our country India. So now let me select only our country, only our study region called India. So for that, to make it only as our study region, all you have to do is go to the option called, go to your layer, world administrative boundary, right click and go to the option called selection and create a layer from selected features. So now a new layer has been created. Now let me turn this off and let me remove this. So now you can able to view here. We have selected our country boundary layer from world country administrative boundary polygon. So this is our study region. So let me turn this, change the color. Let me select a specific color called any color. Hello. So now let me click this geology layer. So we have our geology layer. So we have our geology layer and our country's boundary layer. So next we have to make sure that the projections are same for both the layers. Now let's check the world administrative boundary polygons projection. So right click, go to the properties. So now I can view that geographic coordinate system is GCS WGS 1984. And similarly, let us view this geology layer. So go to the properties and we can view this. The geographic coordinate system is GCS WGS 1984. So both the projections are same. So we can proceed towards our preparing our geology map. So suppose if you are facing two projections are different. So you can go to the search section and you can search by project. So click the search option. So here we have our project data management tool. So in this you can apply your shapefile and you can convert that into a similar projection. So you can input your data set. So this you can insert your polygon and choose your desired projection system and click OK. So it will be converting to a similar projection system. So now we have both the layers are of similar projection. So let us proceed further. So next step, we're going to proceed towards intersecting our country's boundary polygon with our geology layer. So for that, go to the option called search. The search will be available here. So now let me search by intersect. So now let me select search. So here you can clearly able to view here. Now select the intersect analysis tool. So here, now first let me input my administrative boundary polygon. So followed by my geology layer. So I've inserted my administrative boundary polygon and my geology layer. Next, let us choose an output file location. So now I have chosen my output file location, that is geologyindia.shapefile. So now let me click OK. So now the intersect has been completed. So that is indicated here, that is Geology India. So now let me turn off other layers. So this is our Geology of India. The specific layer is the Geology of India. So now let us view the attribute of this Geology of India. So go to this layer called Geology India, right click and go to the option called Open Attributes. So now we can see variety of details about this geology of this shapefile. So our area of interest will be mostly on this particular section called GLG, that is Geology. So that is Geology of our study region, India. So now we can clearly able to view in here. There's a different annotations. Suppose this is one of the annotation PZ that has been repetitive. So now all I have gonna do is gonna combine this annotation together. So that is I will combine all the symbols together to one as one symbol. So for that I'm gonna use a step call. So go to the geoprocessing. So now you go to the tool called dissolve. So now let me input my feature. In my input feature will be our Geology India. So click this and drag into our input features. So in this specific section of this field, dissolve field, we have to select our geology. So we're going to dissolve only the geology. So click this. Next, choose your output file location. Now let me choose my output file location. So now I have chosen my location. Let me save this. So file location has been chosen. And next, I'm going to run this tool. Click OK. So the dissolve process has been completed. So which is indicated here, that is Geology India dissolve. So now let me right click, open attributes. So now you can clearly able to view here. So all our layers, that is our all the geology layer indicating this particular symbol has been combined together. Similarly, all the feeds, there is no repetitive in it. So we have dissolved. So now we can view the different geology in our study region India. So let me minimize it. So suppose if you want to view this particular geology formation that is indicated in D, let me click this. So that is indicated in this section that is available in northern part of the study region. So this particular formation. So let us view what is this formation D represents. Now let me get back to the browsers. So here, this is our world geology map of USGS. Let me show you here. So go to this option called entire publication. So now go to this report called PDF. Now let me get to that. Let me minimize it. So here let us view this. So here the D indicates the undivided Devonian rocks. Now let me zoom that. So the D here indicates the undivided Devonian rocks, and S indicates undivided Silurian rocks. So these are the different geological formation that is indicated in this specific symbol. PG represents Paleogeny sedimentary rocks. Now let me get back to ArcGIS. So here next is H2O. Now let us view that. What is that formation? So H2O here represents water, and let us view the other formations. So here there is JMS. So here JMS represents the Jurassic, Metamorphic and Sedimentary rocks. So now let me get back to ArcGIS. So now let me close this. So now let us give some color to our geology layer. So now for that, go to the option called go to our Geology India dissolve layer, right click, go to the properties and go to the symbology section and click choose categories. So now let us select the value called value field GLG. So make sure that you select GLG. So that represents our geology field. So now let us add all values. So you will get a unique value for our geology layer. So each of this symbol represents different geological formation. You can also choose your own color. So there is a variety of color that is available here in color ramp section. So you can choose your color of your choice. Now I'll select this particular color. So now you can also change this particular color. So just by click this, right click and property for selected symbol. So you can choose your desired color. You can choose any color of your choice. So now let me okay. So now let me select the H2O. So here the H2O represents water. Now let me select the color for H2O. So we have two different H2O represented here. So here we have two different H2Os. Now let us merge these together. So let me press Ctrl and click this. Now right click and group the values. So I have grouped this value together, H2O, because it represents water. Now let me choose the color for our water. So click this, right click and properties for selected symbols. Now let me choose the color blue. So I've chosen the color as a blue for water. Now click OK. And suppose if you feel any color is repeated again, so you can just right click and you can select this properties for selected symbol and change the color for that particular formation. So now let me click apply and click OK. So this is how the Geology of India will look like. So we have a different geological formation that is represented here. So each of this different symbol represents a different geological formation. So suppose if you want to view this details of this different formation, all you have to do is go to the browser and click this option called PDF. So you can download and you can open that. So in this section you can view the different geological formation. So each symbol represents a different geological formation that is indicated here. So you can always view that. Now let me get back to ArcGIS. So now let us prepare our geology map. So currently we are in data view. So let us change to it to a layout view. So to change to it a layout view, all you have to do is click this option. So let me click that. So it is in a layout view now. So currently this study area looks good in portrait mode. Now let me zoom this. So let me zoom this here. So this particular study region, it is very good in portrait mode. Suppose if you want to view your study region, in landscape mode, all you have to do is go to the option called File and Page and Print Setup and choose your orientation mode. So I have chosen portrait. You can choose your desired option. So you can also choose your landscape mode. So like this, I have chosen only portrait for this study region. So let me cancel this. So now let me arrange this. And you can also change it to a landscape view. All you have to do is go to the file section, page and print setup, and make sure that you select landscape and click OK. So now it is converted to a landscape mode. Now let me rearrange this. So here's our layout option. Let me place it here. So now let me change this. So let me drag down this option and let me minimize, that is reduced to this size. And let me expand here. Make sure that you give some space in this part of the section, because if we have to add some latitude and longitude for this, that is, we have to add our coordinates. So for that, give some spaces here in this section. So suppose if you want to zoom your study region, all you have to do is click this option called zoom, that is zoom in, click this and make sure that you do this. So now your study region has been zoomed well. So now let me and similarly, suppose if you want to zoom out, you have to use this option, zoom out. And suppose if you want to move this map around, so all you have to just go to the option called pan, click this pan option, and now you can move this map. So now you can be able to view here. So now let us insert our legend into our map, geology map. So for that, go to the option called insert. So now choose your legend. So here you can choose variety of layers to show your legend. So particularly in my case, we are only using our Geology India dissolve layer as our legend. So for that, let me select only this layer and remove this layer. To remove this layer, just click it and use this option. So now the layer will be removed. So next we have to choose this. So next we are in legend. So you can also change the title of your legend. So for this case, I will just leave it as a default, and you can choose your color, and also for size and font. So click next. So you can also choose your border. So in this case, I will just use this 0.5, and you can choose your desired background. So click next. So in this section, you can also choose your, suppose if you have a line layer, so you can choose your different line that is available in this section. And suppose if you are to show your your polygon features, so you can show it in a legend in the different shapes, like in a rounded rectangle, ellipse, and diamond shape. So it's your wish. So for this video, I will just make it as a rectangle. So now click next. So you can also change the spacing for your legend. So you can make a different spacing for your legend. So let me click finish. So then our legend has been inserted into our map. So let us make some changes. So we have some spacing issues. So let me arrange it accordingly. So in this legend, you can also increase the font size of your different formations in order to make it more readable. So you can also increase the font size of it, and you can able to view here the legend is being represented in the single column. So you can also represent in 2 columns or 3 columns. For that, just click this, go to the properties. Now go to the section called items. So here you can see this option called item columns. So you can place the item in new column. So let me click this, and you can select the number of columns. Let me select 2 columns for our legends. So I will have selected 2 columns for our legend. So now let me apply it and click OK. So now we can clearly able to view in this part of this section. So our legend has been represented in 2 columns. So next, suppose if you want to remove this GLG, so that is represented here, GLG, represent geology. So suppose if you want to remove that, so you just click this, and let me show, just click once and remove this. And also suppose if you want to rename this layer name, so just click once and let me remove this. So here it is represented as geology, and I could like to remove this title called legend. So to remove this title, all you have to do is just right click, go to the properties, go to the general section, and you can see here the title is being represented as legend. So now let me remove this tick box to remove the title. So now let me click OK. So the legend has been removed. So suppose if you want to represent this legend in 1 column, so let me revert back to a 1 column. So it is represented in 2 column. I will represent it as in 1 column. So right click, go to the properties, and similar go to the item. So here let me place it as a number column count for this items will be 1. So now click apply and OK. So it is represented in a single column. So suppose if you want to make some changes to the font size of this classes, label classes, all you have to just right click, go to the property section, and so go to the items and go to the option called apply to class labels. So here you can increase the font size of your class label. So you can increase this font size of your class label. So click this, choose your different, let me choose a 10. So now let me choose bold. Now apply. So here in this section you can clearly able to view the font size has been increased and it represented in the bold color. So suppose if you want to represent your geology layer to be a bold and a little higher in font size, so click this option. So click this option called apply to heading. So now let me increase the font size. Let me apply up to 12 and bold. So let it be a bold and apply and click OK. Make sure that suppose if you want to apply or increase the font size for your layer name, click this apply to layer, increase the font size to 12 and make sure that you give a bold and apply and OK. So here it is clearly indicated here, our geology is being indicated and higher font size in the bold. So here we have our legend represented. So now let us add some title for our geology map. So go to the insert option, click title. So now let me add a title for our geology map. So now I have given a title as Geology of India. Now let me click OK. So it is being clearly represented here. So suppose if you want to make the bold, suppose if you want to increase the font size, just double click it. Now go to the option called change symbol. So here you can increase your font size. Let me click around 20 and let me make it a bold. So you can also choose your different fonts. So let me leave it as the default Arial. So there is a variety of options that has been available here. So let me choose Arial for this. Now click OK and apply and click OK. So here it is clearly represented as Geology of India. So now let me insert a north arrow into our Geology of India, the map of geology. So go to the insert option. Let me choose the north arrow. So you can choose a variety of arrows. There has been north arrows be available here. Standard notation. Let us use this option. Let us use this S3 north arrow 3. Click this and OK. So now the north arrow has been added into our map. So let me place it here. So now let me add a scale bar to our geology map. So go to the option called insert and let me choose a scale bar. So there's a variety of scale bars that is available here. So let me choose a scale bar for it. So let me select this particular scale bar. Now click OK. So it is represented here. So it is represented in miles. Let us convert it to kilometers. So it is represented in miles now. So it is represented in miles. Let me double click it and you see there is a division units. So let me choose the kilometers. I have chosen a kilometer. Now let me in the label section let me enter as km, that is in kilometers. So next we can also increase the font size of this scale bar. So go to the option called format. So here you can increase the font size of your scale bar. So now let me select 8 and make it a bold. Now apply and click OK. So here it is indicated in bold. So now next let us add a base map to our geology map of India. So for that go to the option called add. So add a base map. So here we have a different base map that is available for this particular map. So I will choose the ocean. Now add. So now we can clearly able to view, we have added a base map for our study region India. So we have our base map called ocean. So the next step will be we're going to add a coordinate to our map. For that, let me click this layer, right click, go to the properties, now choose grids, now new grids, now gratitude divides map by meridian and palace. So let me select this particular option and click next. So now let me select this particular option and let me click next, and major and minor division, click next and next, finish. Yes, so apply. So we have indicated that it has been the new grid has been indicated here. Now click OK. So we have our latitudes and that is our coordinates has been represented in all the sides of this map. So now let us remove this particular lines. So for that, let me right click, go to the properties and go to the properties. Now let me choose this option called so do not show the lines or text. Let me click this, do not show lines or text. Now click OK and OK. So we have our maps being represented and the latitudes and longitudes being clearly indicated. Our coordinates are being clearly indicated here. So next, suppose if you want to reduce the transparency of your base map, all you have to do is go to this option called, click the base map, right click and go to the property section and display. You can reduce the transparency of your base map layer. Let me reduce up to 15% or let me reduce up to 25%. So now let me apply and click OK. So now the transparency of our base map has been reduced. So that is, we have applied the transparency for our base map. So next we could like to add some information about the coordinate, that is our projection system we have used in this for creating this particular Geology of India map. So for that, let us view the projection system of this geology. Right click, go to the properties, now go to the option called source. So here the geographic coordinate system that is represented as GCS WGS 1984. So we are going to mention that our coordinate system, so that is GCS geographic coordinate system WGS 1984. So let me copy this. So click OK. So now let us go to the insert option and add a text. So text mentioning about the coordinate system, the details of our coordinate system. So let me enter the coordinate system details. So now I have entered the coordinate reference system as GCS WGS 1984. So suppose if you want to change the symbol of the font size, just click this option called change symbol. So now you can also change the font size of your that is our coordinate reference system. So let me choose in a style option as a italic format and OK. So now let me click OK, apply and click OK. So it has been represented here. So the coordinate reference system is represented as like this. So let me place it somewhere here. Let me place this scale above it. Also let me reduce the font size. So let me reduce up to 8 and OK, apply, OK. So our coordinate reference system has been indicated, that is our projection is indicated that GCS WGS 1984. So we have given all the details. So here you can able to see the coordinates here are represented in the horizontal. Suppose if you wanted to represent it in the vertical file format, all you have to do is click this and right click, go to the properties and let me go to this option called label, interior labels, axis. So go to the label section and in label orientation, make sure that you click left and right. Now click OK, apply and OK. So now we can able to view here. So it is oriented in a vertical fashion. So it has been oriented in this way. Last, let us export our map and make sure that you save your MXT. So I already have saved my MXT. So to save your MXT, go to the option called File, Save As. So you can enter your desired file name. I have already entered as Geology map. So you can just click to save this MXT. And next, suppose if you want to export this map, go to the option called File, and go to the option called Export Map, and so you can now export your map. So let me choose a file location for. So let me select here. So you can use your save as type, so you can save it as a variety of file format. So for this video, I'll save it as in JPEG, so that is JPEG file format. So you can choose your desired file resolution. Make sure that your DP is around 350. If you're getting putting a less value, it's going to represent your resolution of your image will be lower. So to avoid that, give a DPI value minimum of around 350. So let me give me a DPI value of around 350. So now I have given a resolution of around DPI value around 350. So now let me save this. So I've saved in this particular section PDF. So save this. Or you can also save it outside. So let me save this. So once the image has been exported, our map has been exported, you can open it. Let me show you that. So now you can able to view here. We have our geology map, so which is indicated here. So let me click this. Let us view this. So this is our Geology of India. So geology map has been created here. So this is our Geology of India map. So we have finally prepared our geology map of India. So now let me get back to our ArcGIS. So in this video, I have shown you how to prepare a geological map using ArcGIS as a software package, and shown you how to prepare the geology map of India. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our channel and give us a like.